So I obviously couldn't really resist, started tinkering with this, and all of a sudden it's a full-blown build. Roll credits. Right then, yes. So what have I been up to? I'm in the process of fixing this propeller blade on. I'll go into that, exactly what I've done with that in a minute. I've took the cowling off, which put up a bit of a struggle, but it's not too bad. Interestingly, when I built this back in '92, I've glued a little, well, it looks like I haven't. I've glued a little piece of plastic there that lifts the engine up slightly, because these engines kind of don't fit into the cowling length. Apparently there's a part, one of these parts, and I can't for the life of me remember which one it actually is. If you leave it out, the engine fits. I suspect it's this thing here. Like I say, take the engine. I suspect. It's this hexagonal piece here, which is a separate piece. But whatever I've done, I'll possibly shave those down, because I think you need to squeeze about 5mm to get this backwards by about 5mm. It looks like I possibly shave these down until it fits. So that's all good. So the engine's fine. I mean, you've seen it before. I started messing about with it. The engine was in there. It was all good. I've took it out because I'm gonna have to give it a bit of a refresh on the paint side of things. The other thing is if I turn this round, and you can see what 30 odd years in a loft leaves. All these bits and mess, which is another reason I took the engine out, because I can give that a proper clean now, which is nice. So what else have I been up to? Well, as I said right at the start of this, I had, well, it's this part which goes there. Doesn't stick very well at the minute. This part which goes here. It's got lost over the years, so I bought the kit in the box. And just on that, on the subject of that, the kit in that box is something I got from eBay a couple of years ago. What am I saying? I'm getting mixed up now. A couple of days ago. The kit I got in the box is something I got a couple of days ago via eBay. This that you're looking at here, I built around about 1992, and it's just been in this state since then, waiting to be finished. But as I've said before, the kit in the box was sold as spares and repairs. However, it seems it's intact. It's got all the parts seem to be there. There's maybe a few little bits here and there missing, which isn't really going to cause me any problems if I wanted to build that one as well. A little bit of scratch building it's fine. So I've gone back to my original plan for this, which was to scratch build any pieces missing. And to that end, I I've made this out of, this is actually a 1/72 Catalina wing, which is why it's got a slight American mark on there. The reason I use this is because it already has a curve on it, which very closely matches the original part. So I'll just put it over. It wants to be a bit more curved at the front end. Simply put it over, drew around it with a sharper, filed it, sanded it down until I've got a piece that I think will do a job. I'm going to have to glue it in place, rescribe rivet lines on it, but I mean, this ain't bad. That's going to do me a job, which leaves this bit that I was going to use on here free to be put on the other kit, or I could sort of bang it on eBay for 100 quid. But I'm not that mercenary. So as well as that, the propeller. So it's the age-old thing, you've snapped a blade off your propeller. With this being the size that it is, what I've done is I've drilled a hole there into that. Also, as I've done the same thing on the propeller blade, put a little piece of a pin in there and just snipped it off to the size I want, which it goes back together, which I'm about to do. Just make sure we're the right way around. Yeah, the massive seam lines need to line up with the massive seam lines on the boss there. So yeah, I'm going to do this to these undercarriage legs that are broken as well, so I'll go through that process in a bit more detail. But right now, let's get this back together, and I'll bang a bit of filler in these massive sinkholes wherever they've gone. And everything's coming up nicely. So yeah, I'll use super glue on this, put a bit on there. Right. There we go, get me activator ready. You can go over there, and 1, 2, 3. I'll tell you what, I should put a bit of super glue in that hole as well, just there we go. That won't be going anywhere. I'll get that lined up. Just trying to grab a little bit of this. Press together while she dries. Well, it is dries enough to grab. Angle looks good. And any minute now. Come on, go. Yeah, I think I'll get another blast of this just to And what I'll do once this is set a little bit more, I'll pour a little bit more super glue on there. No, wrong way around. Boom. That you can't see. Doesn't that look nice? Let's make it look nicer. Fantastic. This kit's coming along in leaps and bounds. I've only started messing about with it today. Brilliant. Alright then. So, on to the next part of this. So, we've got the age-old problem on model kits, on the cage legs that snapped off. It's a similar thing that happens with propeller blades. You'll have already seen me put the one on there back, but not exactly how I did it. So, let's tip this over and see what falls off. Because all of that is now free. So yeah, this is quite awkward, this thing being so massive. Right, let's zoom in. Now, with a piece like this, a butt join would probably be realistically, excuse me, be okay, because we've got this piece here to hold it, and because it's so big, we've got a big mating surface there. But I just want to be sure of that, so I'm going to show you what I do. I do this for sort of smaller stuff as well. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this, I'm going to make a little dent as centrally as I possibly can. There it goes. I'm going to take this small drill, put it into that dent. Okay, there we go. And just send this down there. Squeaky squeak squeak, make a pilot hole. Okay, I don't know if you can see that. Beautiful. There's my little pilot hole. So I'm going to take a slightly bigger drill. And we're going to remount this hole nice and big. Don't need to be too accurate with this, because what I'm going to do, I'm going to put super glue into that and put a piece of metal rod. Now the metal rod I'm going to use is very easy to get hold of. It's nothing special. It can be fairly easily cut to size, because all of it is a pin, a literal pin. I've got a box of these. They are always handy for any sort of repairs or strengthening, or you can sort of cut them off, use them as pitot tubes, which will never break. In fact, I've got a old tool nut where I broke the pitot tube off just replace it with one of these. That's not really too deep, so I'll make that a bit deeper. Right, so that's got these holes drilled in. Oh, it focused first time then, which is and then went out of focus. Oh my. Yeah, holes drilled in these, holes drilled in that and that. So what I'm going to do now is get the, the pins mounted in, and the way I do that, so make some room, struggling again because this thing is so massive. There's a little bit of super glue. And the lid stuck on, bear with me. And I'm back in the room. Yep, a little dollop of super glue, put it on there. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this pin, a nice big dollop of super glue on the end of that, and put it in there as if I wanted to put glue in there. But what I'd want to do is to get this pin stuck in there, get it as straight as I possibly can. I'm going to use some activator. I don't want to spray it at the super glue on there, so I'll spray it over here. Give it a second. Okay, that's sticking nicely. So for the other landing leg, I've actually got, I don't know if you can even see it, but I can't pick it up. I've got a piece left over from when I've been doing this before. I think it was when I did the same thing with one of the propeller blades. So we'll do the exact same thing with this. Or perhaps we won't. Now, because I've rigged up this workbench to be a little bit anti-pingage, that may not have actually been lost. Then again, it possibly has. It will turn up at some point, I'm sure, because it's gone over there. And if you're interested into how to set this desk up specifically for modelling, just drop me a little comment, and I'll show you around the desk and what I did with that. It's probably not for everyone, because this has pretty much been turned into a permanent fixture. But like I say, it is very much anti-pingage and anti-carpet monster. Anything pinging off that way, or that way will not actually make it off the bench. That's interesting. See that hole I put there, goes all the way down there, and that's not important. I think that hole was in the pot already, because I know I didn't drill it all the way down there, but that is going to be super strong when it dries. I normally only go to a depth of what I can get away with really, but it's usually about where my film is now. But that's on there and that's on there. So it's touching up, straightening up. Okay, we'll leave them to go off and I'll get right back to you. Right, so these have set, lovely. So all I need to do is cut them down a little bit and we can get these things fixed. So the first thing you do is you snip them off to the length you think you need using your very cheap battered DIY snips, not your high-end brand new sprue cutters that you got for Christmas. That would be a bad idea. So I'm going to ping this off, and it's it will ricochet towards into orbit, possibly. There we go. And the same on this one. The reason I put them in like this is because obviously it's a lot easier to handle rather than trying to handle something that size. And if they turn out too long, I can always oh dear, I can always snip them down a little bit more. Toink! And there we go. So if I've done this right, that should I mean, there's the beauty part about this is yeah, it's slightly too long. Let's just fire a little bit off the end. And there we have it. And that on its own is fairly reasonably strong. Obviously when it's glued, you can't see that. Let's move this over a little bit. I keep forgetting how big this thing is, and I keep doing stuff off camera. That pops in there, that's a little bit looser. But like I say, when it's glued, it'll all be good. So it doesn't look too clever, but as it stands. But what I'm going to do is pop that out. I might adjust this because this may not be quite perfect, so I'll give it a little bit of adjustment and I'll be right back. Right, so I'll just giving this a little bit of a fettle, and you can see that is in pretty strong, and at the minute it is not actually glued in any way, shape or form, just to show you I'm not kidding. I'll put that back, and let's just flip this giant plane around. Yeah. Yeah, right. Obviously it does need to be glued because otherwise it it will not support its own weight as it is. I thought it might actually, but yeah, enough messing around. So let's get this stuck on properly. And how am I going to stick it on? Well, excuse me, I'm going to use pins again. What I'm going to do, in fact actually, yeah, let's I'll pour a bit of super glue onto this, but quite a way too much actually. I'm going to put some glue down into there, and onto there. Onto there. To good dicing. And on we go. Pop that into there. Now this on the carriage is meant to retract, but with this part there, you can't really see that from there, can you? That goes through that back wall and is secured by a cap, making it able to go down, come up. That does not have a cap and is not articulated in any way, so I'm not sure. It's I think it's, if you did try to unclip it, if you did try to retract it, I think you meant to pop that off or even take it away, push that closed, and there you go. Now on mine, it's the fit and tolerances are a little bit iffy, let's just say that. So I did fix it in the down position. So that's yeah. Let's just give it a squirt of the activator. And I know what you're thinking. All the times I've been using this and just blasting it onto paintwork, it's never ever affected any paintwork. Now this also is Humbrol, so it's maybe, you know, you may say, oh, Humbrol paints blah blah blah, they're not all that, but these are enamels, so they will have a little bit of what's the word I'm looking for? They will not be affected too much by too much stuff. I am going to repaint this though, because yeah, I'm going to repaint it. Okay, so that one's nicely done. So let's try to bring you around a little bit and get the other one done. Ooh. Carpet monster alert! I really am struggling because I need to get the camera in, and I also need to be able to do what I'm doing. At the minute, this camera is literally underneath my chin, right in front of me, because of the size of this thing to start with. You can see the problems that causes. And again, so we've got plenty of that on there. Does that look straight to you? Because once this is set, it ain't coming off. Believe you me. I'm just going to bring the camera around and just see what this... Yeah, okay, that's I can stick this wheel on this now. Ugh, fingers and thumbs. Yeah, okay, that looks as good as it's possibly ever going to get. Bang. It's probably fixed already, to be fair. So I shall put that down. Give it a couple of minutes to go off. Pop the wheel on, and then she'll be sitting on her own legs for the first time in about 25 years. Okay, here we go. Not only have we got the undercarriage back on, we've also... That one's a little bit stiff because that one hasn't got the end cap inside because I took it completely off. But also another feature on this, if you build it carefully, is that that will retract and deploy. So let's turn her over. And sit her down. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now that's beginning to look like a Focke Wulf. Also, it's caught the angles of these legs. They go in a bit. There's a bit of a toe in on the wheels. It's not just straight down. It's quite a complicated. I'll just pop the engine back in. See, look at that. It's trying to roll. It wants to live. Wrong way round. Oh yeah, I'm quite chuffed with that. Let's get it around to a better angle. This is a mare as well, like I said, because it's so massive. But oh yes. So there you are. That's our anything like those broken undercarriage legs. That's how I fix them, and it all depends on the thickness of the actual part. But you can do it with fairly small parts, 1/72, and I've done things like that with. So there you go. And it's because all I'm using is dressmaking pins. You can buy, I don't know how much they are to buy, but you can get a box of them, a pair of snips. You can get your sort of rods to your heart's content. And as you saw, those pins are also handy for putting super glue on stuff. Alright then, I shall cut this off and away we go. Bye bye. Yeah, I couldn't resist it. I've kind of cobbled it together a little bit. Obviously all this area will need some sort of work doing on it, and the cowling ring. Those, you meant to take them off, expose the engine. Probably, see, as soon as you As soon as you look at it, it all falls. They all start falling off. Exactly like that did. The second I tried to get near. Anyway, let's just shaft the engine then. Let's do it that way. Yeah, this is looking good. Like I say, probably going to repaint it fuller looking at it, but I'm very happy with how this is going at the minute. So on that note, I'll close this off and see you later.